For security reasons, we hid our heroes in the video.
I know you won't believe me. I wouldn't believe it myself, but I'll tell you my story. The rain poured down like a solid wall, flooding the empty highway as if trying to wash it off the face of the earth. The street lights flickered dimly, as if they had grown tired of fighting the endless darkness. I stood at the bus stop, wrapping myself in my old coat. My damn shoes were soaked to the last thread, and every breath burned my lungs with cold. My shift at the restaurant had ended. I stepped outside, but, as luck would have it, I had missed the last bus. I was about to walk home when I realized I wasn't alone. Under the shelter, hiding from the rain, stood 5 more people. Something similar flickered in their eyes. Weariness, hopelessness, as if life had battered them and tossed them here, onto the roadside. Soon, we got to know each other, and I remembered them down to the smallest details. Probably because of what happened that night. Roy, a drunk with a red face and a bottle in hand. He smirked crookedly, looking at us as if he didn't care where or with whom he was standing. Sam, a burly man in a dark jacket, with a grim look and a mocking squint. There was a sense of danger in his every move. Sarah, a young woman with tired eyes. She sat on the bench, holding a broken umbrella as if she wanted to disappear. Charlie, tall, thin, in a gray coat. He nervously clutched a briefcase, his eyes darting around as if looking for an escape. And finally, Mr. Lucas, in a black suit with a cane and a neat hat. He looked too tidy for this place, as if he were from another era. I mean, think about it, how often do you see someone dressed like that? His smile was calm, but there was something unsettling in his eyes. I sighed and muttered, more to myself than to anyone else. No more buses tonight. There will be, Lucas unexpectedly replied. His voice was deep, confident. There's always a last ride for people like us. Roy snorted and took a swig from his bottle. If Mr. Important here says there'll be one, then we wait. At first, we talked about little things. The weather, sports, random jokes. But somehow, Lucas made us talk. And soon, it became clear. Each of us had a story, and they weren't just dark. They were a real abyss. Roy spoke first. I've been drinking all my life. Like now. Once, I tried to quit, but one day I lit a cigarette after a drink. And the house caught fire. There were people inside. 3 of them. They burned. And me? I didn't even go to jail. No one ever suspected it was me. Lucas shook his head. And you kept drinking? Roy shrugged. What's the point of stopping? Silence fell. Then Sam spoke. I just got out of prison. Served a year for stealing a car. But that's not the interesting part, he squinted. One night, while I was driving it around, I hit a woman. She was walking her dog. I panicked, dumped her body in the river, and stripped the car for parts. They got me for the theft, but no one ever found out about her. Something heavy clenched in my chest. And then Sarah spoke. I work as a nurse. In hospice care. There are always too many patients. And I need a break. So, I just give them a little rat poison. They're going to die anyway, but at least I get some rest. She looked at us. There was no remorse in her eyes. And then Charlie opened his briefcase and pulled out a knife. The blade gleamed under the streetlight, darkened with dried stains. You know, I love numbers, he smiled. Right now, I have 32. But I don't like that number. I think I'll go for 40. Or 50. He pulled out a woman's bracelet and a watch from his briefcase. These were theirs. I keep them as souvenirs. Each has its own number. I found it hard to breathe. They weren't even looking at me. As if I no longer existed. And then, from the darkness, a bus emerged. Old, rusted, its engine rumbling. The driver, a gaunt man with empty eyes, silently opened the doors. Roy staggered inside first, nearly falling. Then Sam, then Sarah, and Charlie. Lucas lingered at the entrance. He turned, glanced at me, and gave a faint smile. This route isn't for you, he said. What do you mean? My voice trembled. This bus is for them. But you don't belong here. Not yet. Maybe one day, but not tonight. He took off his hat, and I saw black horns gleaming under the streetlight. And his eyes. I don't know how I didn't notice before. They weren't human, I swear to you. That was no man. Lucas stepped into the bus. The doors closed, the bus pulled away, and after a few meters, it simply dissolved into thin air like mist. I was alone. The rain suddenly stopped, and the night became eerily silent. But inside, I felt a coldness far worse than the one from the storm. I whispered to myself, "What the hell was that?" And then, the sound of brakes. The last bus had arrived.